This is John Chocolat with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and I'm here on vacation in Puerto Rico, and today I'm visiting a farm. And this is unlike any farm that I visited previously through all my over 1,200 videos when I visit farms. This is a quite unique farm, and it's actually behind the gate right there. And for those of you guys that don't know Spanish, it says no entree. That means basically do not enter, and it says propiedad privada. It means private property, do not enter. Anyways, this is actually going down a slope, so if I move down, you can see I'm getting smaller and smaller. That's because this is a slope, but the camera can't pick it up. One of these days I'll get a 3D camera or something. But yeah, this is down a slope, and it actually goes down a hill. So this farm is actually literally in like valleys, and there's like a nice river running through it. Literally, it's in a valley, and there's all these big, huge trees around me. I mean, literally, the farm that I'm going to show you guys today is actually in the forest, and this is a forest farm or an agroforestry farm, and I believe this is the future of farming, and we need to be working more with nature like this farm that we're visiting today, again, instead of against it. You know, most farms would want to make a farm here on this beautiful land, and they would take bulldozers and they'd bulldoze everything. They'd probably terrace everything. They'd open it up, and when they open it up, right, they'd start ruining things. They'd ruin all the trees, all the plants here, right? They'd be gone because they'd basically decimate them all, right? Consequently, when all the trees and all the plants get decimated, what happens to all the animals, the wildlife, the birds, the bees, right? You hear all the creatures. There's coqui frogs, there's birds I could hear in the background. You guys could probably hear them too. What happens to all those when those guys, when all their food sources go away, right? They go away too, and there's endangered species in the planet that we're losing all the time. And whether that's, we think of endangered species, we think of like animals or panda bears or, you know, spotted tigers or leopards, but there's other endangered plants, right, all over the world that are disappearing at alarming rates due to man, you know, basically clear cutting things and growing corn and soy and oil palm trees and all these things. And this is not really the future, in my opinion, or for a sustainable future. That's not what we need to be doing. What we really need to be doing is what the farm today, the JeanMarie Chocolat farm, is doing in an agroforestry approach. Literally in this valley here, which they own 70 some odd acres, and they bought this 2 years ago, and they have approximately 35 acres under production at present time after only 2 years, all on sloped, right? They're planted out and going into full production. Full production is going to be reached in maybe depending on what part of the farm, but the ones they planted out early will be reached in a year and a half, 2 years more, and they're going to be in full production of cacao. But they also grow many other crops that I hope to show you guys. And the reason why this is important is because we can not only make a living for ourselves, not only help the old school trees and endangered plants and trees and wildlife, but at the same time we can make a living and provide a service and provide food for other people and other creatures on the planet, and we can all do this at the same time. So this is like the synergistic effect. And you know, unfortunately most farms and gardens basically do the clear cut method, and it's not totally sustainable. This is actually even beyond sustainable because it's regenerative. It's basically helping the land regenerate itself, and also you're using, not losing, the potential of the rich, fertile ground, right? If they clear cut this forest and they started planting corn or, you know, soybeans or oil palm trees or sugarcane, whatever, maybe the first year, maybe the first 2 years, you'll get amazing harvest because the soil is really rich. But as you're growing the crops in the ground, the plants are pulling nutrients out. And at some point, the plants are going to pull all the nutrients out, and then you're going to be left with literally sand. You know, the soil will not have any life, and that's when you come in and you got to use the chemical fertilizers, and now you got to use the chemical pesticides because now you're getting, you know, bugs and pests and disease because the plants don't have all the nutrition they need, and plus you removed all the different native plants that attract the beneficial insects that, you know, eat the bad insects when they come to your crops, right? So we're really disturbing a lot of systems, and the reason why I really want to bring this episode to you guys today is because really they're working with nature and you know, allowing the ecosystems to work together for their benefit. anyways, let's go ahead into the farm where I gotta head down, open up this gate, and show you guys around a little bit. All right, so now I'm about to enter the farm, and here's the thing, like actually I was at the farmer's market today in Rincon, and actually I bought some cacao from the farmer here, and then actually one of my viewers actually came up to me and started talking about my program and said, hey John, I watch you and all this kind of stuff. And then one of the other guys said, hey, what kind of program do you have? And then I explained to the farmer like what I do. Hey, you know, I have a lot of videos on YouTube, over 200 videos, over 415,000 people that follow me, over nearly 60 million views amongst all my videos. And then he started telling me about his project, and then I'm like, you know what? After hearing about his project, what he wants to do, which I'll share with you guys, you know, I said I had to come down here and film this. I mean, number one, just because he's really restoring and making the land better, improving it, but also creating an income for himself and his family. But in addition, he wants to literally spawn a whole industry here on Puerto Rico. Many of you guys may not know that, you know, Puerto Rico, you know, back in, I don't know, the 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, they were strong producers of agricultural products, right? And then what happened is manufacturing jobs came and companies came because the U.S. government enacted laws where that basically said if you have a company in Puerto Rico, you don't have to pay all these different taxes. But then, you know, so then people would leave the farms and then come into manufacturing jobs, right? And that went really well for a long time until about 1990 when, you know, there was a law enacted that basically put taxes back on some of the big manufacturing companies and things. And then they're like, well, hey man, if we gotta start paying taxes and we got to pay to ship our products from Puerto Rico to the United States, which is either a plane or a boat ride, we're not going to do that. And they basically packed up out of Puerto Rico, so Puerto Rico has been in some financial challenges as of late. And you know, I heard there's a statistic of like 200 some odd Puerto Ricans basically leave Puerto Rico and basically go to the US. And before I go any further, I want to explain to you guys, a lot of you guys who live in the US, maybe you guys never heard of Puerto Rico, been to Puerto Rico or anything. Here's the thing. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States, so it's not like it's a state where the people here have voting rights to vote for the president, but it's a territory. So, you know, I could come here to Puerto Rico on the plane with no passport or anything. You know, as an American citizen, I could buy land here, and likewise, people that are Puerto Ricans could go to the U.S. They are also U.S. citizens, and they could also own land in America, right, and buy land and settle. And many of them are because there's not the economic opportunity here in Puerto Rico anymore. And that's what the owner of this farm wants to change. He wants to bring back farming to Puerto Rico, and specifically certain crops that he's identified that are really good for the economy and can be easily grown here, and that can be grown better and done better here in Puerto Rico than other places, you know, in the US. You know, the cacao grown here in Puerto Rico, due to certain reasons, is actually better than the cacao grown in Hawaii, but also even better than some other places in the world because they have selected varieties. And what really got me here is because I know a lot of you guys are looking to get a farming job, looking to create an income by growing certain crops. And here's the statistics, right? On 1 acre of forested land, you could grow, depending on the land, from 800 to 1,000 cacao trees. And then after about 3.5 years, when you're in full production, that land, that 1 acre, will make you approximately $15,000 to $20,000 a year, right? Every year. And here's the thing about cacao, unlike, you know, apples, right? If you plant an orchard of apples, the apples, basically, they come one time of the year. You have your apple harvest, and you got to deal with all these apples, sell them, turn them into juice, whatever, put them in cold storage so they'll last a year. The cacao, basically, you harvest it every month. It's always putting on flowers and fruit, and with different varieties, you could be harvesting 12 months out of the year. So you're always working. So you're always having workers on your farm taking care of the trees, pruning and harvesting and all these things. Whereas like when you have apple trees, you got to bring in all the workers at once to work, and then basically for, you know, 11 months out of the year, they're doing nothing. So, you know, this is a great economic benefit for Puerto Rico, the farmers, and possibly you if you want to come here as an American and buy land. That's the other thing. You know, this over 70 acre property approximately, you know, and depends on where in Puerto Rico you buy, it could be $3,000 to $5,000 an acre, or even less in some areas. So property here is really inexpensive. Plus, this is the beautiful tropics. Anyways, the sun's going down. I gotta get in here to show you guys some stuff before it actually gets too dark. All right, so now I thought I'd take you guys in the farm with me real quick, and I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm basically walking down this big road, goes all the way down, and drove in the truck there. But if we look around in the forest, I mean, basically you just see all these plants. Now this is the entryway. This forest, or this area, was formerly used as a coffee plantation back in the 1950s, and it was only accessed actually through donkeys and horses, so there was no roads through here. You know, they did come in and put in some roads so they could have some access. Nowadays, just a main road. But basically, this whole farm is worked with no machinery, only hand tools. And along the road here, they put lots of different crops. They got coconuts, bananas, as well as just some of the old school trees. Let me go ahead and turn around here for you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that, but now I'm standing on the edge, basically, of a drop off. And this is like a cliff. And if I kind of shine the camera up, I don't know if you guys can see that all the way behind me. All right. It just basically goes down and down and down. And if I show you guys all the way down, you can maybe see a little stream down there at the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. It's getting a little bit late. But if you guys look closely down behind me, you guys could closely see different kinds of trees. So there's some cacao trees. So those are the ones with the long, skinny leaves. And even the longer, skinnier leaves are bananas. So they interplanted cacao and bananas. And have a lot of other things growing. But, you know, on this farm, unlike many farms that I visited, you guys can see like all the old school trees. Like, look at all those big trees behind me, right? And they go up and up, and they're huge. They didn't like just come in and clear cut the whole area, right? They removed select trees just so they could plant their cacao. And, you know, cacao, they don't like full sun. They like some indirect shade. They left some mango trees and some other, you know, hardwood trees and other beneficial trees, some rare and endangered trees they left. But they cleared out some just so that they could get their crop in here, right? So they're working more with nature instead of against it. Let's go ahead and continue down into the farm and show you guys more about the cacao they're growing here. So this is what we're looking at here. This is probably one of the main focuses of the land here is the cacao. But of course, besides cacao, they're growing things like bananas right behind me there, as well as other tropical fruits and pumpkins and other crops, you know, down on the ground in an agroforestry type situation. So really, they're not clear cutting the land. They're leaving most of the growth here. They're not doing like weeding and stuff. And the cool thing about the cacao is, if you guys look at this tree, it's not very old, but the leaves are really filling in really tight. So the cool thing about cacao is because basically it creates a lot of shade underneath it, so you're not going to have the problems with, you know, weeding and things underneath the cacao, because it basically shades out everything once it's fully grown and fully established. And likewise, on the cacao, you know, the cacao market is big. If you ever had chocolate, I mean, every supermarket has chocolate bars. They gotta get that chocolate or cacao from somewhere. Basically, cacao is the fruit, and then once it's processed, it turns into chocolate. I mean, that's the short version of it. But there's many different kinds of chocolate. I mean, you could go and buy one of those expensive chocolate bars, or you could go buy, you know, a chocolate bar for 50 cents. And the quality can vary widely. And actually, literally, today I got a schooling in cacao or chocolate. And I mean, I'm gonna try to sum this up for you guys real quick. There's three main varieties of the cacao, right? There's a Criollo, let's see, there's a Foresto, or something like that. And then there's a Trinitago. Anyways, each variety has certain characteristics. Like one variety is kind of like weak growing trees, but the chocolate tastes really good. One kind of tree are actually really vigorous trees. The pods are bigger, they yield more, but maybe the chocolate quality doesn't taste so good. And the other variety is kind of a cross between the two that happened in Trinidad and Tobago. And you know, that's kind of a cross. You got nice hardy trees with medium-sized pods that have good yields that actually also taste better. And anyways, along the way, they've actually selected about 10 varieties, maybe up to 20, that grow really well here in Puerto Rico and also have special flavors and produce well, right? Because even if a variety tastes good, if it doesn't produce well and is not financially viable, they're not going to grow it here, and it's not a variety they're going to basically be putting out to farmers. And so they found the best varieties that grow the best, and the whole model of the business here at JeanMarie Chocolate Farm, or JeanMarie Chocolate, is to basically help other people start chocolate farms, right? Whether that's individuals like you or me, you know, you could buy the cloned trees, grafted trees from them. They're about $6 each, and you could plan out your property, and basically they will guarantee that they will buy all the cacao or chocolate from you, you know, once you're producing the cacao. So this is an amazing venture. You don't have to grow chocolate, go to the farmer's market and hope a couple of tourists buy the cacao from you. And one of the cool things I like about Puerto Rico, and actually the reason for my trip this time is actually I've been looking at land. I've been driving around for the last almost week now looking for some property myself to buy, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not yet, but it's a high probability because land prices are really inexpensive. The people are super friendly here in Puerto Rico. It's part of the United States, so you need no passport. So, you know, it's quite safe and stable, unlike many other, you know, South American countries that you may want to move to. In addition, unlike Hawaii, which is also the tropics, I like the Puerto Rico because, you know, in Hawaii, basically, there's very few fruits that you can actually ship back to the mainland. I think papaya and pineapple. But in Puerto Rico, the USDA actually has an approved list of things you could take back or ship back to the States, you know, including cacao, including bananas, including avocados, including, you know, certain other things. And this makes it much easier to do business when you could ship fresh fruits. But of course, most of the cacao that's being shipped off island has been processed because cacao has a very short shelf life. You know, within about 5 days after harvest, it starts to ferment inside and actually starts to sprout. The seed starts to sprout and the flavor changes a lot. The fruit pulp around the seeds start to break down, and then you really wouldn't want to eat it so much. But anyways, for these reasons, I really like Puerto Rico, and that's why I'm, you know, potentially here looking for some farmland to buy and invest in myself. Anyways, actually I want to show you guys like one more part of the farm before I want to take you guys into the nursery and show you and talk to you guys more about the special variety cacao trees that they're growing here. So as you guys can see behind me, basically we're on like a slope, and actually it slopes down, so I got my foot there so I don't slide down the hill. One of the really cool things here is that, you know, all the trees and the big forest trees above drop all their leaves, they come down and they hit the ground, and they're all like right in here, and they're all sitting in place and composting down, right? They don't got any compost bins here, right? They just let the forest do all the work. And likewise, right where the camera is placed on the tripod, you know, some of the wood fell over and they cut some trees down and they just laid it down right here. Because it rained so much, it's so humid, the wood's breaking down, the fungus is coming into the wood, it's just feasting, it's making the fungal dominated compost right there. We got the bacterial based leaf mold going on right here. There's so much happening to continually rebuild the soil in this forest system, right? They don't got any compost bins. Yeah, give me a break, right? That's what we got to do because we don't have forest systems where we're growing our gardens. But this is like the ultimate. Oh my God, and if you guys could see behind the camera, I'll turn the camera around for a shot. I don't know if you could pick it up, but it's just so beautiful. All the big, huge trees and the river down below. If you listen carefully, if I stop talking for a minute, you can hear the water down below, which is actually bringing some humidity here to the area and to the cacao that loves the humidity. But anyways, this little cacao here, you guys can see, and there's some behind me, they're maybe only about 3 feet tall, but these grew to 3 feet tall within just 6 months of being transplanted in. These guys are really fast growers, and within about 3.5 years, you're in full production, and in about 1.5 years, you start getting production of the cacao. And the cool thing about the cacao, right, this is, if you start a cacao farm, this is a farm you'll be living to your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your great-great-grandkids, right? Cacao trees can be productive 40 to 100 years. And as you lose trees due to age, due to whatever, you just replace them with new trees, but you'll always have a continual production cycle. And in the world, you know, they're constantly losing cacao trees. And meanwhile, we need new people, new farmers, hopefully one of you guys out there watching, to start new farms to keep the cacao growing, as well as not just cacao, but intermixed with many different crops that have uses, whether they're ethnobotanical crops or herbs, you know, creeping ground cover, you know, so many crops in the forest are useful to man, and it's quite unfortunate that, you know, we're using just a small variety of the plants here on the planet that have uses for us. And in a forest system, literally, you're literally unlimited. Anyways, I want to turn the camera around before it gets too dark to show you guys just actually the beauty of this forest. I'd love to have a farm like this. Of course, I'd like to have areas also with my vegetable gardens, but in this type system, you know, I would surely be growing many of my tropical, perennial, leafy green vegetables such as Canuck, Katuk, Okinawan spinach, longevity spinach, and so many other things as well. And then plus I'd learn about all the new different foods that's growing in this ecosystem that would be useful to me and also edible. So this is the shot that I want to show you guys actually before we head in, because it's getting kind of dark here. But look at that behind me. I mean, this is what this farm looks like, right? It's not like monoculture with all these trees, or it's not even like a permaculture system that you've kind of artificially created. I mean, this is the forest, and they're literally planting their farm within the forest. I mean, this to me is like the ultimate. And look behind me there, just all the old school trees, super tall. And if you look closely, I mean, this is HD. You look closely because there's rivers down at the bottom, you know, that's causing the humidity to come up. And if you look, there's like fog just hovering right over the top of the trees, right? To add the humidity layer for the different plants in the area that really love it. I mean, this is just so amazing, so beautiful. I wish I got here early in the day to explore more parts of the farm. Unfortunately, it's getting quite dark. We might check out one more place, but the next thing I think I want to do is actually head in to the nursery and then maybe teach you guys more about the cacao, the chocolate, maybe a good fermented chocolate, a bad fermented chocolate, and then we're going to actually interview the farmer here who's also himself a chocolatier. So now I thought I'd show you guys actually the cacao nursery here where they actually grow from seed all their different baby cacao trees, and then they grow for about 3 months, and then they get about a 1.5 feet tall. And then what they do is they graft their special varieties. So at present time they have like 10 different special varieties, and I want to show you guys this one right here. This is just an example of one of the varieties. This is known as the GM3 variety that they're grafting here, and they have actually a quite unique graft. I'll show you guys this up close actually, check it out. You see the graft right here? I've never seen a graft like this actually. This is a 360-degree graft where actually they remove some of the bark actually, so that the new grafted material forms new bark, so it must be accepted onto the original rootstock, which is kind of amazing. You know, so with this you're going to have higher levels of success with the trees here instead of, you know, other types of grafts that don't have the 360. And it looks like these guys are filling in really nice. Once they graft here, and they use, of course, the paraffin tape or parafilm tape, and what happens is they grow them here for even a month and a half after they graft, just to make sure it is accepted, and to make sure that the farmer or the person who buys these trees will have success in their farm, because it's no use of buying a tree that wasn't properly grafted that will fail, and then you don't get the economic value out of them. The other thing is that they select very selected varieties of cacao trees to graft. And for example, this one is a special variety. Number one, it is actually quite productive. So to be considered productive as a cacao tree, the cacao tree needs to produce 70 pods a year. This one on average will produce around 100 pods a year. So this is like 20-25% more productive than just an average cacao tree. So that means you're going to make a higher yield, which means, you know, more money for you on the same amount of space. In addition, this one has unique flavors, right? So this one has more floral overtones, but a nice deep and rich cacao notes or chocolate notes, which are very important to some chocolatiers. And so they have 10 different kinds that have unique different tastes and notes, but they're all really productive. So yeah, lots of them here, over 1,000, ready to go out to new farmers, and maybe even you, if you want to buy some land here in Puerto Rico and grow some cacao trees. I think the next thing I want to do is actually, I want to get out from outside because it's actually quite dark now. You could hear the coqui frogs competing with me. I think I'm louder than them, and we're going to go ahead and talk more about the cacao, the pods, and some of the chocolate, and so you guys could learn about cacao. Because most people just know chocolate as a chocolate bars, but you know, cacao is much more than just chocolate bars. So now I want to give you guys actually a quick lesson on cacao and the chocolate that's grown here. Unfortunately, I didn't even get to show you guys any full-size trees with actually pods on it. I saw plenty on my trip here today, but it just got so dark so quickly here. And so, sorry about that. But what I can show you guys are the cacao pods. This is the fruit that houses the little cacao beans that is then turned into chocolate and chocolate bars. And as you guys learned in this episode, there's many different varieties of chocolate, but there's 3 main types. And I'm glad to have the 3 main types here to share this with you guys, all right? So let's talk about the 2 original types, right? So this one right here, called the Criollo is kind of like smaller, doesn't have a whole lot of seeds per pod. They're kind of like rough, and it kind of comes to a point, right? Like you want to jab somebody, right? Anyways, that's how it looks right there. And this variety actually has white seeds on the inside, which I'll show you guys in a minute. The next kind is known as the Forastero. And this kind, if you look at it, it's more kind of rounded, right? And it's kind of more smooth like a watermelon. Look at see the difference on that? Big difference. Unfortunately, you know, most people will grow this variety because this variety will yield more because the pods are larger, but also they're more tolerant of weather and disease and pests and whatnot. But so, you know, many plantations across the world, including like in places like Africa where they planted, you know, lots of cacao, they grow this kind, which is actually, unfortunately, not the best kind of flavor, right? So this one, unfortunately, has good flavor, but it's so small it's not as productive, right? So how can you get the best of both worlds? Well, that's when this one and this one basically had sex, where they cross-pollinated, and they made this one, which is the Trinitario. And this is kind of a cross, so you can see it's a cross between both these guys, right? It kind of has a point on it. It's not super like, you know, soft like this. It kind of has some ribbing to it, kind of like this one, but it's a cross in between. And actually this happens to be the exact one I was showing you guys in the nursery, the GM3. So this is the cross between these two with the best of both worlds. It's disease resistant, gonna grow well for you, gonna grow high quantity, you know, nice sized pods, but more importantly, the best flavor, right? So yeah, so once you guys harvest the pods, which I did say, you know, they do every month, so you always have cash coming in. It's not like, oh, we're harvesting, you know, in September every year. Always something to harvest, always something to do on the farm. So you're going to be employing, you know, people year round. And actually, at this farm, they employ like a handful of people year round to continually maintain the trees, plant new trees, build new buildings, and all this kind of stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and cut one of these open for you. I think I'll start with the more common type first. And unfortunately, you know, when you buy cacao or chocolate bars, they don't necessarily tell you the variety it is. So I want you guys to support companies that will tell you the specific variety. I know when you buy raw cacao beans, in many cases, they'll say, oh, we're selling the Criollo variety or whatever. Anyways, to open these guys up, it can be a little bit dangerous, so be careful. What we're going to do is we're going to take a nice knife here, and we're just going to take it and just chop it in. And then we're going to rotate. We don't want to cut all the way through because we're going to damage the important beans inside there. And when they open it here on the farm, they take special care to open each and every one properly. You know, kind of like this. And as you're rotating it around, you don't want to go too far. You kind of like wiggle the knife back and forth to kind of crack it open. Oops, I kind of went too far. And basically what happens is you can open it up, and look at that, beautiful on the inside, right? I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out. And there we go. So the cool thing about the farm here is that, you know, they just don't want to use only the beans, which is what's normally used. They want to try to use all the different parts of the cacao, right? 80% of the weight of the cacao is the shell here, or whatever you want to call it, and it's usually just discarded. Hopefully, most farms would be throwing it back into the land, composting it, and actually rebuilding their soil, but there are many other uses of the shell here. Like, this is actually high in pectin. So the pectin can be extracted out of this, as many other ingredients that they're actually researching here to make the best and most use of all the resources of the cacao. Likewise, if you guys look inside here, you know, here's the little cacao beans, but around the beans is like this white stuff. And the white stuff is actually known as the cacao fruit, which unfortunately, most of you guys will never get to taste unless you are holding a cacao pod in your hand like I am. It's quite rare that they actually sell the beans with the fruit dried on, or just the fruit alone. You know, I think they should just have a cacao fruit, and you can just buy the fruit pulp either dried or, even better, probably freeze dried, so it preserve longer, preserve more of the flavors and antioxidants and nutrients in the fruit. Anyways, I'm going to try this for you guys. Let's go ahead and see if I could pull out one here. So around you guys can see it's like all like white and ooey and gooey. So what I'm gonna do is put it in my mouth. I'm shucking off the fruit. It's a tad bit sweet. I mean, wow, kind of tastes florally. Reminds me like a little bit of like eating like maybe like a lychee. It's like kind of slippery, but there's not a lot of fruit on here. Most of this stuff is actually the seed. So yeah, this is a Forastero, and we're gonna go ahead and I tried to get a lot of the fruit pulp out. We're gonna go ahead and cut this in half now for you guys. And if we cut this in half, inside the bean is actually not going to be the brown color that you guys are used to. But if you guys can see that on the camera, it's actually a little bit purple on the inside. So these make the purple, and that's when they're fresh. But once they're properly fermented, they turn the chocolate brown color that you know and love. And unfortunately, I didn't get time or have time today to show you guys their whole intricate fermentation process, because it is a very important process of making high quality cacao like they do here. You know, they take special steps to ensure that they get proper fermentation, and with the steps and the amazing climate here in Puerto Rico, they get 90% fermentation. So that means 90% of these fermented beans in here were properly fermented, 10% were not, and unfortunately the industry standard is 80%. And when this happens, when you have 20% of the beans that were not fermented, they taste more bitter. This throws off the quality of the cacao, the chocolate that is being made. So I'm glad that they're able to do that. And I mean, just picking up a handful of these, fermented beans here, I could see that most of these guys have been properly fermented. You might find the rare one that didn't. And the way you'll know is like if they're properly fermented, the embryo on the inside is basically hollow. So the seed, if we break it open, is going to be hollow on the inside. Like for this one, let's go ahead and cut this open for you guys. All right, yeah, so on this one, if you guys look in the middle of that, you guys probably can't see that on HD, but in the middle, it's totally hollow. So this is a well-fermented bean. Let's see, oh, this guy's a little bit flat. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. Yeah, on this guy, it's like, it's not hollow. So inside, this is maybe like not fermented. But that out of all this whole bunch here, like this one was the only one that wasn't properly fermented. So yeah, the fermentation process is critical, and due to the climate and the weather here and the process that they figured out here, they could get really good fermentation. Let's see, next I want to go ahead and open the Criollo for you, a variety. Once again, very careful with the knife blade. This is a little bit softer to cut into, so we're just going to rotate all the way around, and then we're just going to go ahead and kind of wiggle it back and forth, and it basically just breaks open nice and easily. And we're going to go ahead and open this guy up for you guys. All right, look at that. That's what it looks like, hollow shell. And here are the little bean pods on here with the fruit around. There's not a lot of fruit on the cacao. Let's try this one. That one to me actually tastes a lot better than the other one. The other one is kind of neutral flavor. This one actually has a much more stronger flavor. There's not a lot of fruit meat, and it's not like super sweet, but it's really flavorful. And I really look forward to the day that they do a lot more research, upon the qualities, vitamins and minerals, and especially antioxidants of the fruits. And we're able to buy maybe fruit powders of the cacao. I think that'd be amazing. Let's spit that out, and now I want to cut this little seed for you guys in half. Wow, check this out, right? Inside this seed, it's actually white. So the Criollos are white inside. This is actually quite rare. Now, this is not where they get white chocolate from, because when these are actually properly fermented, they actually turn a light brown color versus like a dark brown color. And to remind you guys, this is what the Forastero, oops, if I could hold this without having it go out of my hands, looks like. It's a lot darker. All right. So now we're going to open up their very special Trinitario variety here, the GM3 that they grow here. And let's see what it looks like on the inside of this guy. So once again, this is a nice large pod, more beans than the last variety we opened. In addition, this is a more productive tree. So, you know, this is the kind of crop I think you guys should grow, whether you're growing cacao or other crops. You know, a crop that really yields well, that has superior flavor and taste and other traits that you want. Like, so for example, like I like to grow purple carrots instead of the standard orange carrots because they're a lot more higher in nutrition. But yeah, this one, especially for chocolatiers, has better flavor notes and it's actually quite productive. All right, so opening this up, let's see, rock it back and forth a little bit. And there we go. Let's open this guy up for you guys. This is like a Pac-Man. All right, open this guy up. All right, wow, this comes out quite nice and easily. And here it is, lots of beans in there. This one has, you know, good amount of pulp. Let's go ahead and pick a bean out and let me go ahead and taste the fruit off this little bean here. Wow. So this one, kind of like the last one I just opened actually, a lot better flavor than the first one that I opened, which was kind of like really mellow, which was kind of like really fruity. So this might be an indicator of like what the seed on the inside tastes like. So I'm just trying to scrape off all the fruit with my teeth here. A little bit difficult. I wish they had a lot more cacao fruit around the seed. Actually, I think I like the cacao fruit itself actually more than the dried seeds. But you just can't get it in any quantity. It would take you a long time to eat this stuff. All right. So here's the seed on this guy, and let's go ahead and cut this guy in half. All right, so if we cut this guy in half, that's what this guy looks like, and comparing it to the first variety, the Forastero, you know, it's actually, wow, check it out. It's actually a little bit lighter, so this is kind of like a cross, right? One's white, one's like dark or purple, and this is kind of like in between, so it's an in-between color. Really cool. Anyways, most of you guys won't ever get to play with, unfortunately, fresh cacao like I am today. You know, it does have to be properly fermented to have the proper flavor, because just eating it like this, it's really bitter. So fermentation is necessary, as I said earlier. But if we pour this out, these are properly fermented beans, and this is where they get the chocolate from. So chocolatiers like to basically buy the beans raw like this, just sun-dried. And in their process, it does not exceed 110, 110 degrees. So these can be considered raw for people that are into raw foods. But the chocolatiers like to buy it like raw like this so that they can control the roasting process, because the roasting process is critical to having, you know, good quality chocolate, and it's all in the roasting. So, you know, they will roast it here for you, or you could buy it raw like this and chocolatiers could roast it. And then let's go ahead and try this whole bean here. It's kind of hard, and you know, to me, this kind of tastes like you're eating like a dark chocolate. I mean, even a little bit, I wouldn't even say it's bitter. I don't know what variety of seed it is, but you could tell by the shape and whatnot. But it's actually nice, good flavor, and I'm actually looking forward to the the theobromine punch. It'll keep me energized here at night for the last half of this episode, where I'm gonna actually sit down with Juan, the farmer and chocolatier here that actually created this farm and made all this happen. We're going to share with you guys more about how you guys could start your own chocolate farm here in Puerto Rico and why. We're going to kind of get into more of the cacao and chocolate and why it's important to continue to grow trees, some of the nutritional values, and a lot more. So now I'm here with Juan Echevarria, the owner of the JeanMarie Chocolates and the farm that I just showed you guys, and the mastermind behind everything that you guys saw today. And you know, I wish I really got here a lot early in the day, but I've been busy all day, plus it was raining and whatnot, to show you a lot more of the farm. I just got to show you a small segment, but what I've seen here looks totally amazing. We're going to ask some questions about why he started this, why he's growing the cacao and the way he does, why it's so important for him to grow the cacao, and many other things. So the first question I have for you, Juan, is why did you decide to start to grow the cacao or chocolate here in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, we have a history in cacao. So back in 1600, 1700, Puerto Rico was producing a lot of cacao. So we lose that crop through the time. And now, studying the cacao market around the world, we found that we can do something special for the cacao industry, producing a special cacao here in Puerto Rico, not in large amount, but a special cacao. And that's why it motivated me to start this project, because I noticed that there is a need in the market to get the best, and we can produce the best. We got the methodology to produce the best.
Yeah, and an amazing climate here in Puerto Rico, in the Caribbean. So another question I have for you, instead of just taking your land and cutting down all the trees, slashing and burning like standard agriculture or big companies would do, Monsanto and all these other nasty corporations, why do you decide to do the agroforestry approach where you're working with nature instead of against it?
Well, it's the best way that we can get the best from the land, protect the soil, protect the environment. So if we destroy the soil, we destroy the environment, so our farms do not give us the best. We need the best chocolate in the world, so the best chocolate in the world needs to grow in the best environment. And that's what we are creating here, the best environment to produce the best chocolate.
Wow, yes, and also, why destroy beautiful Puerto Rico by leveling it out and taking away the beautiful forests, right? And this is what is happening to not only America, here in the Caribbean islands, South America, everywhere in the world, big corporations are stripping out the land, ruining this beautiful planet Earth. So another thing I want to talk to you about, Juan, is why do you decide to do the organic methods without any kind of chemicals?
Well, that's working with the nature. The nature provides all the nutrient that the soil really needs. What you need is to recycle the compost, natural compost, control the erosion with controlling the water, the running of the water in the soil, and maintain the good canopy in the soil to avoid that the wind and other things damage the soil. Also, the combination of crops, what we use the permaculture approach, when we put different crops in the same place, one of the crops help the others, and then it's a perfect system. It's like a forest, but in productive way, where you produce food, but in the same environment that the nature stay alone. You see the forest, nobody take care of the forest, but it's very green and everybody is very happy. So we want to have a farm like that.
Wow, so they're basically modeling the forest structure, and it's called the eco-forestry. So Juan, what are some of the other crops that you grow besides the cacao that also, you make money on?
Well, the best way that the farmers can live from farming here in Puerto Rico is to do the best in the farm. And the best way is not a monocrop. When you plant monocrop, you have one harvest of the year, or maybe two harvests of the year for the same thing. It's only a market for that. But when you combine crops, every year, every time in the year, you will have something to harvest, and that's income that enter into the farm and maintain the farmer running the whole year round. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to produce food for the supermarket. We produce food for people, produce food for the restaurants, and maintain that kind of varieties available for the people for consumption. Because right now in the island, we are importing about 90% of the food that we are consuming. So we need to do something to produce more and be sustainable in terms of food production in the island, and combine of crops in the farm is the way to do it.
Yeah, and I would say not even sustainable, but even regenerative, to regenerate the land, to make it better than it was. And I mean, whether you live in Puerto Rico and they're importing 90% of the crops here, or you live in a city in America, in Las Vegas or Colorado or Arizona, most of the food that you're eating, that families are eating in your area, is also being imported. So don't just think, oh, I live in America, I'm all right. No, most of the stuff is being imported and it's being shipped in. It's not local food you guys are eating, right? And so I want you guys to produce more of your own food, start your own local farms in your area, or of course, come to beautiful Puerto Rico. So Juan, can you tell the people that live in Puerto Rico or even in the United States why they should, use their land if they live here in Puerto Rico, or if maybe some Americans want to come over to Puerto Rico and buy some land that is available and start to grow cacao? Why is this so important to the economy here and to the people?
Yeah, we are living a very bad time in terms of economy because we are struggling in terms of economy here in the island right now. Unemployment rate is so high, and we have the main resource that the island has, which is the land. It's available, it's there. So what we need to do is find a crop that is profitable, that can allow you to move forward a farming project, and the cacao is that guy. So combine it with other crops will be more profitable. So then the farming will be, let's say, an activity that will be profitable and maintain employees, create opportunities for everybody, and starting the exporting process, which is we are spending our money outside buying products to consume. What we need to do is change that, produce and send the product out, and then receive the money to continue grow the economy in the island. That's what we were looking for.
Wow. So if people like in the U.S., like some of you, want to have a farm and they could buy the land here, right? They could buy the land here and start the cacao production. How much can somebody make per acre, for example?
Well, it's very simple. If you plant cacao, we are trying to put 800 trees per acre. And the varieties that we are selecting, which is very high yield production, will be producing 1,000 trees. Will be producing about between $15,000 and $20,000 a year.
Wow!
So you don't need a big farm to be profitable with the cocoa. So you need to plant grafted trees from the varieties that we are recommended, because those are special beans that we're going to sell at special price out there. So the farmer will receive more income for that. That's what we are pushing.
Wow. And then you could also, besides the cacao, grow other things on your land as well and have even additional income. So, and the land prices are actually quite affordable here compared to other tropical locations that I've visited, and especially to know that this is a territory of the United States. It's nice and safe. I mean, some of the people here that I've met have been really friendly. So another thing I wanted to ask you, Juan, is besides just the money you could make from growing the produce, what about the eco-tourism? I know you're planning eco-tourism on your farm, and my viewers could even come down maybe in another 6 months or something and visit his farm and get a personal tour and walk the whole property, which would take up to 3 hours, and see his production facility. But you want to talk about the ecotourism as a draw, so people coming to Puerto Rico on vacation could see how chocolate is made.
Yeah, we are trying to combine different activities in the farm. Our farms in Puerto Rico are beautiful. You see, our farm is a jungle. It has a river, a little stream. You have a lot of things to do there. Our tourism department is just selling beaches and sand and the offshore, but we want to move people inland to see how beautiful the island is inside. And we are closer to the corner, so in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you are moved from the town to our farm. So it's very close, very easy to come and see something completely different. So it's another opportunity that the farmer has. It's not only producing different crops in the farm, it's just also getting some people to get tourism in the farm. And there is another additional income that they will have and makes the farm more profitable.
Right. I mean, I could even see something like, minimal impact ziplining tours or ropes tours inside the farm. I mean, above the canyons, over the cacao trees. How beautiful and cool would that be?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So let's see. So another thing I want to talk about is, once you get the cacao and you grow it, let's talk about the processing. So you have many different products here. And if somebody in the U.S., anybody watching this now, could actually go to your website and buy some of the roasted cacao, the raw cacao, and if you didn't want to, deal with it yourself, you could buy even their chocolate bars. You want to talk about more about the products actually you make yourself. Yeah. Besides just growing it, you actually process it into foods, and then actually this is a value-added product. So now instead of just selling beans, you sell a chocolate bar, which you make more money on.
Yeah, that's part of the what we do. We think that is not only produce something, it just go to the end and produce the finest product without no chemical, without minimum machinery use, but giving the customer the opportunity to taste the real thing. That's what we do. That's what we focus on.
Wow, yeah, I mean, I tasted some of the cacao here today, and it is completely amazing. If you've never tasted real cacao, raw cacao, this is it. And I mean, if you want the roasted ones, you could order one of these, and you could compare the two. And then, of course, you get their high-quality chocolate bars to compare, you know, what it tastes like against, like, the junky Hershey's chocolate bar at the store. So Juan, we're pretty much coming to the end today. Is there any other things that you'd like to share with my viewers today to go out to everybody? Any important messages?
Well, the important is just take care of the environment, try to produce your own food, go organic, avoiding the chemicals, because that's a direct impact to your health. So you want to be healthy, you have to take care of what you're eating. And if you can produce something, do it. You can protect the environment in some way, do it. So maintain what we got. That's the environment is what maintains us alive. So we have to take care of it. Okay.
And I would encourage you guys, I want to encourage you guys to support Juan here, right? He's put in many years of his life and lots of money into this project to make it happen, to be a model for people, to be sustainable, to do the agroforestry in a productive and profitable way, and to prove it is possible, and to show others to be the first one to do it, so that other people will do this also, and we will create a better earth. So Juan, if somebody wants to buy some of your products to support you so you can continue your very important work, how can they do that?
Well, just go to our webpage, www.JeanMarieChocolat.com, and there is all the product that we produce here in the farm. We are able to send it out to the state, to any state. So you would like to taste our chocolate, our real chocolate, just put an order in the web and we'll receive that.
So the question I have for you, Juan, is can somebody order that special one that I like if they just want that kind, because I loved it so much and it's so delicious?
Yeah, it's you will decide what you really want to have, and we will try to send you what you really need.
All right, awesome. Yeah. So besides that, do you have any contact information if somebody's interested in maybe coming to Puerto Rico and buying some land, and Juan will help people properly grow an agroforest cacao farm, right? Yeah. And so how can somebody get a hold of you to do that?
Yeah, through our webpage, we got the email and we got a contact form. If you are interested to buy any land in Puerto Rico, we can advise you. We got friends that are moving out of the island because they have to move with the company and they have land to sell. So if somebody needs something or are interested on that, we can help. We can help.
As I said before, I also may be buying some property here to be farming myself. I'll be growing cacao as well as many other things, and this is a beautiful place in the world, and I really like it a lot compared to many other places that I've visited in the past. I guess any final thoughts or things that we didn't get to say, Juan?
Yeah, in the same line, if you decide to buy land in Puerto Rico, feel free to contact us, because I can help you to develop your farm, advise how the best way to do it, and you will have a friend here to help you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Juan, for having me today out to your beautiful farm, and I'm glad I met you this morning. Actually, at the farmer's market, I'm here now, and it's the end of the day, and I still got to go home and eat dinner. But if you guys out there enjoyed this episode, want to see me again, visit Juan and show you more of his farm, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Very important. I have over 1,000 thumbs up next time I come to Puerto Rico, which hopefully will be soon. Maybe when I'm buying the property, I will come visit Juan and even show you more of the process and more about cacao. It's definitely a food I like to eat on occasion for special occasions, but of course many other people eat it like almost every day of their life to feel good, which we didn't even get into today. Also be sure to share this video with somebody else that's interested in maybe buying a farm. Puerto Rico, in my opinion, is an excellent place to do it. and especially with some of the affordable land prices and ways you could actually save the environment and actually make a living, and a good living at that, at the same time. And of course, live in the beautiful tropics here, and of course all the beautiful beaches here in Puerto Rico. I've been visiting one almost every day. We go looking for property, go to the beach, and then we do my other things, and I go film and whatnot. So yeah, beautiful place here, many good beaches. So be sure to share this video, and also be sure to click the subscribe button right down below. I'm still here in Puerto Rico for a few more days. Hopefully I'm going to make a few more episodes for you guys. You know, if you're subscribed, you'll get notified of all my new and upcoming episodes that I have coming out about every 3 to 4 days. You never know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 1,250 videos at this time dedicated to teach you guys all aspects about growing your own food, farming, creating your own job, where I visit farms literally all over the world, as well as, you know, just videos in my backyard showing you guys how I grow food in one of the probably most challenging areas of the United States. So with that, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep on growing.